great thing about being a woman is that getting a man to see how wonderful you are and to fall in love and want to pursue you doesn't really involve any effort at all. Effort in the traditional sense of I have to show him how great I am and prove myself to him or win him over. All of that stuff does the opposite of what you actually want. It's simply about being who you are. That's feminine energy, just being, not doing something or trying to prove yourself to him or win him over in some way. The work, in my opinion, is on yourself and your own blocks to love so that the right guy just shows up and it's completely effortless.
Yes, and that's what we want, isn't it? That we
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Want it to be effortless. And that reminds me, because God, I can go on for 20 years, dated with a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm.
When I started to learn these principles and some other things, and how I think and my beliefs, that it was so easily to attract and be with a great guy and get married.
Yeah, it's amazing. When we're in our masculine energy, or when we're choosing men from our masculine energy, we can tend to kind of put that guy on a pedestal. I know I certainly used to do this, and then we can't help it. When we have a guy on a pedestal in our minds, we tend to want to go after him. So if you've made the man the goal or the prize in your mind, that's a big clue you're in your masculine energy, and you need to shift that around. Start seeing yourself as the prize. Not in like an egotistical way, but just in a really confident, authentic, feminine way. That's all you really need to do.
Yeah, he would be lucky to have me.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Coming from the place is, okay, is this a good match for me? Not, am I good enough for him? How do I get him to commit to me, or how do I get him to move things forward? If you're coming from that place, you've already kind of lost that game. Not that it's a game, but it should, the man, if he's interested, he knows what to do. You have to trust that the right guy is going to want to move things forward. And all you have to do is respond, show up, say yes, feel good, express yourself, express your boundaries, and be in the moment.
Yeah, that is wonderful. And was anything else you would say, Helena, around, is there any other signs women should look for in terms of, maybe they're attracting the wrong type of guy, the man not for them?
Oh gosh, yeah, I have so much to say on all of that. One thing I say that a lot of women haven't heard before is, we attract a mirror image of our own masculine energy. Remember I said we all have both, right? Yeah. So if your masculine energy is, let's say you're attracting men who keep you waiting or who don't want to commit. Where are you waiting in other areas of your life? This was certainly the case for me. Where are you not committing to yourself and your own desires? Where are you kind of waiting for your love life to get on track before you make your own dreams come true? That's one example. If you're attracting men who make you feel like you're not quite good enough, where are you judging yourself? Where are you being hard on yourself? They're all showing up as like a mirror or a reflection. And that can be kind of like a hard pill to swallow for a lot. And, the last thing I want you to do is beat yourself up or blame yourself. Obviously that won't help you, because you'll just attract men who want to do that to you as well, right? So you can take a look though. Okay, you can see the progression of how you're doing on the inside by the kind of men that are showing up in your life. So if men are showing up and they want to abandon you or hurt you, you're not quite there yet. But as a different kind of man starts showing up, you're making shifts on the inside, if that makes sense. And then choosing from your feminine energy rather than your masculine energy is really important. Choosing based on how it feels to be with this man. How relaxed are you around him? How much do you feel like you can just be yourself in his presence and he really likes you and accepts you for exactly who you are, rather than choosing from your masculine energy? For example, choosing a man because on paper he looks great or he looks good physically or something like that, and then your masculine energy making that choice for you, which, like I mentioned, will cause you to put him on a pedestal and make you want to go after him. Hopefully I said that clearly. Does that make sense?
No, I've never heard that before. That's really brilliant. And that choose a man based upon being in your feminine.
Exactly. Yeah. So that could look like, here's the new criteria, right? His energy's coming towards you. For number one, his energy's coming towards you, and you feel good about yourself when you're with him, both when he's right in front of you and when he's not. So much of the time, we women can get very caught up in how we feel about a man, like, oh, he's so brilliant and funny and successful and gorgeous, and then see how we put him on a pedestal like that, and we're completely ignoring how we feel about ourselves. So just pay attention to how you feel about yourself when you're with him, and is his energy coming towards you consistently? Those are like the top two things I would look for.
Okay, like, yeah, so if you start to see you're like idolizing this man, just thinking, wow, I could see, wow, he seems like a great catch, and and so it's going, okay, stop. How do I really feeling around this man?
Exactly. And a lot of women say, like, well, when we're together, it feels great. The chemistry's off the charts. But then when he's not there, let's say he disappears for a week, then they start to feel anxious or insecure, right? Well, that's something to pay attention to. That's your intuition kind of signaling that something's off. Your feelings are always an indicator that things are going well. This is a good situation, or something is amiss, and might be something to look at.
Exactly. That I'm glad you brought that up, Helena, because that is so true. Like you feel, oh, so good, so connected with him.
Yeah.
Then when you're away, or he's away, you're away from each other, you have this anxiousness. You're wondering where this is going. Believe me, I've been there. So.
Oh yeah, we all have, we all have. So yeah, it's a whole different way of going about it. Basically, it's like hooking up your feelings of attraction and chemistry with a man's masculine action towards you. So if he's acting loving and wonderful and pursuing you and moving things along, that's great. When he's not doing that, when you start to get bored and lose interest, when a man pulls away or doesn't treat you right, you're on the right track. Unfortunately, at first, a lot of times when a man pulls away, it kind of stirs something up in us and causes us to want to lean forward and get him back and go after him. So once you switch all of this around to where the opposite happens, then you've really got something, right? That's really the whole thing right there.
Wonderful. So any last words of wisdom before we wrap up?
Oh gosh, so many, so many. Just that this is, we didn't touch on trusting and allowing. Those are kind of like the last pieces of, if you just trust that the right man for you is going to know you're the one, or know he's interested, and then you can just lean back and allow things to unfold, in the right timing, rather than I used to feel kind of like an octopus, like 8 arms and everything, trying to micromanage every situation with every guy that showed up. And you just don't have to do that, when you're coming from your feminine energy, just trusting and allowing that things are unfolding the way they're supposed to. Everything's always working out for you. And if you have this desire for a great relationship, that is absolutely guaranteed to you. And there's no big prices to pay. It's on its way to you. You just have to believe that it's possible and kind of hold that vision for yourself, and then kind of watch expectantly for it to unfold in your life experience.
Wow, that's so beautiful. I love that. That's much more peaceful place to just, relax back, and it's, trusting that you are going to have a great man in your life. It will unfold perfectly, and it's just a matter of, you being in your feminine, having that awareness, and to all those other tips that you talked about, which were amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad this was helpful. This was really fun. I hope everyone got a lot out of it.
Oh, I know they did. I know for sure. And so thank you so much for being here. Really loved your contribution.
Thank you. Yes, and I have, I don't know if you're including a link, I have my 3 keys to attract the man you want report and audio training free on my website for anyone who watches this interview, and hopefully that will give you some more tips that hopefully you haven't heard before. I love hearing that feedback from women, like, I've never heard it put that way before, to kind of give you a new perspective on this, so that the right guy just shows up, and it's just so much easier than you've ever experienced.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Helena. And for those of you out there watching, please stay tuned for our next expert. I'm your host, Kim Quick, and we've had Helena Hart here, an amazing expert that taught us how to be in our feminine and attract that great guy.